Hello book readers, this is the B-Side Book Reviews. Today we're going to look at Beach Road by James Patterson and Peter de Jong. I hope I'm saying that right, de Jong. I'm sitting here because I was taking some pictures for my upcoming book that's being published. They needed a shot to put on the cover. So I've got my old Underwood typewriter here, and I'm trying to figure out how I should enhance myself. Should I put on a fedora and maybe some my glasses and a pipe perhaps? Do I look more like a writer? Who knows? Anyway, grab yourself some coffee and let's take a look at this book. Beach Road. Ooh, I'm guessing this is some cool spring break tale of college babes in bikinis and all-night skinny dipping parties. Or perhaps instead, it's a tale of murder. Okay, no college girls here, but we do have a high school basketball star who is destined for the NBA. Well, that is if he can beat a 4-victim murder rap. Yeah. Gee, who would have thought that an innocent little pickup game of basketball could end in such a tragedy? Yeah, Dante Halliville's future seems to be set. He's like 6'9" and possibly the brightest high school star within the country. So, what's a little pickup game of basketball at some rich dude's estate going to hurt? There's even a former NBA player involved. Okay, now the former NBA player is Tom Dunleavy. And all those involved in the game are just old buddies in one way or another. And we're in the Hamptons, for gosh sakes! What could possibly go wrong? Well, boys will be boys, and tempers start to flare to the point where some dude pulls out a gun. Ooh, technical foul! 2 shots in possession of the ball. Now, I don't remember if the game was even finished, but afterwards, a few of the players are found stretched out nearby, and they are finished. Wow. People get murdered in the Hamptons? Does Brooke Shields know about that? Okay, now she's just the first on the list of celebrities I looked up who live in the Hamptons. There weren't any celebrities on hand, but the evidence is pointing toward our future NBA star. So, Dante gets arrested here on the charge of murder because his friend Michael Walker was the one toting the hardware at the game. Then Michael winds up dead. Did Dante kill his friend in an attempt to cover up the other murders? Ooh, he'd better get a lawyer. Well, wouldn't you know it, but the former NBA player, Tom, is a lawyer. But with this murder case, he's a bit in over his head. So, he'd better recruit his old flame, Catherine Costello, who is a big-time New York City lawyer. But wait. She's still pissed off because Tom dumped her years before. Yeah, he probably should have thought that one through a bit more. But Dante still needs her help because the prosecution is seeking the death penalty. Okay, now let's throw in the local drug dealer Loco to screw things up a bit. Hold on. There are drug dealers with a name like Loco in the Hamptons? Does Brooke Shields know about that? Does she know about the crooked cross lurking about? Now we've got a drama on our hands that is even more exciting than any college girls gone wild video. We've got murder, basketball, courtroom drama, and even a little racial strife thrown in for good measure. Pretty cool, huh? Now, maybe Loco did it. Maybe Brooke Shields did it. Actually, Miss Shields isn't even mentioned in our story. But Steven Spielberg is, along with George Clooney. Oh boy. Now we've got a story. Such a cool story takes two authors to write. Yes, James Patterson and Peter DeJong. DeJong. Give us the dark side of the Hamptons. We have murder, drugs, and crooked cops. Oh yes, we didn't know stuff like that even existed in the Hamptons. And where the heck are the Hamptons anyway? I just know this story would make a cool movie. Then again, maybe there is a movie. I guess I probably should check on that. Actually, in the book here, Tom and Kate are invited to Steven Spielberg's house while the likes of George Clooney and Julia Roberts study their movements, trying to emulate them. So, I guess Steven already has plans for a movie here. I just wonder who is going to play Spielberg. Tom Dunleavy has got it all. He's a former NBA player. He's a lawyer. He lives in the Hamptons, and he can scrap with the best of them. Yeah, a regular badass baller lawyer who lives in a ritzy part of the country, but still carries a little street smart ghetto within him. Oh yeah, and he's also got a dog named Wingo. Wow, just how much cooler could this guy be? Now the book never mentions about him jamming on a guitar, but I'm just assuming he played a pretty mean lead guitar just to make him seem ever so cooler. However, he must have had some issues because the women just aren't flocking all over him. Maybe he's just plain ugly. Now the book never mentions anything about that either. Apparently he's got a little asshole in him because his old girlfriend Kate isn't overly thrilled to see him. No, of course not. And what about Kate? She has this kick-ass office and this kick-ass law firm, so she must be a kick-ass lawyer. But she's a kick-ass lawyer with a conscience. So we know her future in the New York law game is somewhat limited, right? And I'm assuming she's a looker because Tom, regardless how cool he might be, still wants her back. And I was a little turned on until Tom checks out her nipple ring and asks where she got the piercing. And she simply answers him with, which one? Okay, major turnoff. I'm done with that. Then there's the poor kid, Dante Hallifield. The big-time high school basketball star who the NBA is salivating over. You couldn't read the book without developing such a deep feeling of sympathy for this kid. Oh, yes, indeed. Now, all through the book, you knew he didn't commit the murders. But did he? Now, there's something you're just going to have to find out on your own. Now, I love the drug dealer logo. Okay, I loved his name. Maybe he was the killer. Oh, who knows? Then there's the cop, Detective Connie P. Rayborn, who I read this entire book thinking was a woman. Okay, who the heck names their son Connie? Indeed, that's what the most confusing part of this whole book for me. Yes. Connie. Maybe he committed the murders. If I was a guy named Connie, I would certainly turn to violence. Well, you'll just have to read the book. Mr. Connie Rayborn? Seriously? The coolest thing about this book is the ease taken to read it. Now, the whole book is written in first person. First person. But who is the first person? Tom? Kate? Loco? Ooh, that's where it gets cool. Now, each chapter is entitled by the character who tells the story. So, we get Tom's story going on, and then the next chapter, we might hear about the drug dealer Loco. Then we might switch over to Kate and see what she's up to. Although such made the book easy and enjoyable to read, it could get a bit confusing at times. Because the chapters were so short, I'd forget I had started reading a new chapter. And I'd start to wonder why Tom is saying all these things. Things that sound so much like something a woman might say. Then I'd figured out that I had moved on to the next chapter, and Kate was now telling the story. At times I felt a bit like Sybil or something, drifting from one personality to the next. But for the most part, I really like this POV writing technique. Point of view. Okay, I'm sure this style has got some fancy literary highbrow title, but I don't remember such ever being mentioned in any of my English lit classes in college. Oh no, we were far too busy trying to decipher Faulkner's symbolic meaning behind the title of A Rose for Emily. Now there's some vital information I've always been able to put to good use in the real world. Indeed, college time well spent. However, I do have to wonder what the Game of Thrones series would be like if every character in this saga gave their first-person persona throughout these books. Now that's kind of an insight I could have used in the real world. We talk about these books a lot. We're nearly at 400 pages here. But wait, it's nothing like an actual 400 pages. Some of these chapters are only a couple of pages long with a lot of half pages thrown in throughout the book. There's some more. Here's 2 half pages together. Yeah, I had this book wiped out in no time. Super easy. So that was Beach Road by James Patterson and Peter Dijon. These 2 guys. Fun book to read, easy book to read, would make a good movie. Not sure what else to say about it. Anyway, just go read a book. I'm going to take some more pictures.